Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Builder Tinker. Today we're working on our 1989 Batmobile from Fanhome. We're on the third pack, which is issues 6, 7 and 8. I think the packs get a bit larger after this one. And we also got our first sort of additional gift, if you want to call it that. Let me grab this. Our first binder. So these binders are used to store the magazines when you're done with them. We're going to get these throughout the series. You have to sort of open it up. They're not really free. They call them gifts. They're not really free. Yeah, I think you pay $7.99 for each one. I don't know if you can opt out or not if you don't want them, but worth contacting Fanhome if you don't and tell them to keep them. So we've got 3 issues to look at today, so let's get started. So here are the parts for issue 6. We've got 3 turbine fans, some housing, not quite sure what that is in the middle, and a little packet of screws. And we are going to need this, which we built in issue 5, which is the turbine as it stands so far. There's the main body, and we've got this drive shaft that runs through the middle. And so our first step is to actually install the rest of these fans. Now, these 3 parts are identical and they are keywayed, so it's obvious which way round they go, but we do need this part facing outwards. So you see it's smooth on the back and then not on the other side. That's the bit that's going to face out exactly the same as our first one. So we just slide these over the top of this one at a time. And then we have all 3 in place as well as the original, so that gives us a total of 4. So this is the last piece, and it's like a little cover. Now, if we look at the holes in the end, there we go. They're both hex shaped, but if we look at it from the side profile, I don't know how well that comes across on camera, but this side is kind of smooth and shiny. This one's got like a matted appearance. It doesn't really say which way round to put it. I'm going to go with the matted side in first, and it literally just pushes over the edge, and that's now going to hold all of those parts onto that shaft so they don't fall off, and again it needs to spin freely. We now take these 2 parts, which are the body of the turbine housing, and they actually just come together, push fits. They've got some pins on the back, and we simply bring them all together. Just like that. And the final stage really is to now bring these 2 pieces together. So this housing that we've just constructed is going to go over the top here, and you'll see there's some screw holes in it. They're going to need to line up with these. So the question is, which way round is the correct way round? Okay, this is how we figure that out. Just here, there's a little tab, and in here, there's a little cutout, and they have to line up with each other. And with that lined up, it won't turn, and we've got our holes nicely lined up for screwing it together. So the screws we're going to use are D screws, and we need 4 of them. And very simply, we just screw the housing down. And that's it. This stage is now complete. Pretty quick and easy. That's the end of stage 6 then. So let's move on to number 7. So here are the parts for issue 7, and it's all to do really with the engine again. They're different pumps. We've got the housings and some brackets here. There's also some pipe fittings. Now these are different part numbers, and therefore, and you can see they are ever so slightly different. So this one's 7.5, that's 7.6. The part numbers are printed on the bags they come in, so don't just open everything and throw the bags away. Make sure you're 100% sure which pieces are which. These 4 are all identical, so that's fine. And then here we seem to have a couple of pieces of hose. So we start again by retrieving what we've built already, which is this piece here, and you'll see there are holes dotted around the outside of the housing, and that's for these different pipes to go in. These pipes go on the innermost row of holes here, and again they're just a push fit, so we're just going to push the end in to the hole just like so, and then the same on the other end. You might need to just gently bend it, but there we go. They're only plastic, so be gentle, but they go in quite easy and they're quite flexible. We do that all the way around. Just a little gentle push on the end there just to make sure it clips in. You kind of feel it clip in quite nicely. Okay, so that's all 4 of those, all the way around there. And then our next step is to take these 2 halves of this pump housing and bring them together. And again, it's very simple. We've got some studs and posts, as it were, and holes, and it just pushes together like so. There we go, nice satisfying click. And then that piece has to go into this mounting bracket here. So if you look at the end, there's a little tab. That's for a screw to go in, and that tab needs to just sit over the top of this central post here, like that. Oh, but this way up. Had it upside down. So with this sort of rectangular piece up, and in fact it sort of clips into place on its own, but we are going to put a D screw in there. Okay, so that's done. And next we're going to take these 2 hoses, 7.4 is the part number for these. And we're going to take this hose end here, it's very small. This is the one labelled 7.5 or 7-5, and we're going to put this hose into it. Now we've got to get it on the right end. There is a subtle difference between the 2 ends on here. That one has a little flange on it, and that one's an even bigger sort of coupling flange on there. So it's that larger one we're going to put the hose onto. And it does just push on quite nicely. We then attach that to this pump housing. So there's a hole on the top side of the pump housing just here, and that's where we're going to put the other end of this bracket, this fitting. Oh, this is going to be quite fiddly. You can just take your time. You don't want to break anything. Okay, with that fitting now attached, the other end of the hose goes into this post on the back of the pump housing itself. And then we have that hose installed. We now take the other hose and the other fitting. We're going to do a similar thing. So we put the hose onto the larger end. And then there's another little hole at the front of the pump just here. And the fitting's going to face towards the rear of the pump. So although it will rotate after you've put it in, you probably want to get it roughly right. And then you see there's another post just to the back here for the other end of this hose, which I've just accidentally pulled off. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? And then we have both of those hoses fitted to the pump housing. And that's it for the installation. So we've now got our 2 pieces, the main sort of turbine and this pump. We don't assemble them to anything else or to each other just yet. So that's the end of issue 7. Let's move on to number 8. So here we have the components for issue 8, and this is the exhaust front chamber lower housing, apparently, which would suggest there's going to be an upper housing. We've got a few other very small pieces, so be careful with all the little bits in this set. There's loads of little pieces and obviously some screws. So we actually start by taking the pump that we just finished assembling in issue 7, and there are these engine oil filter tubes. Apparently there's 2 of them, and they are identical. They're like a right angled shape silver piece. And they push into these holes in the rear bracket of the pump, and they want to face towards the front of the pump. There's one on each side, and they are held in with a screw from underneath. It's an E screw, so let's get that ready. So that's that attached, and we simply repeat that for the other side. And then on the front of those tubes that we've just attached, we need to take one of these little black collars, this little plastic collar, and it's sort of wider on one side than on the other. We put the narrow end in first onto the post, like that, and then we take one of these little red caps, and that goes over the top, like so. We do that on both sides. And then finally there's these very, very small black caps. They've got a little post coming out of them. Well, it's really hard to show. And that post is to stick into this hole here to put a cap on the end of this filter. Again, just pushes into place. And that's both of those done. A couple more caps to fit. So just like the black ones, we have these silver ones. They're slightly different in that they've got a pin coming out the top, and then on the other side they've got this round piece. And it's that round piece that's going to stick into the top of this connector here. That went in quite easy. And then this one as well. And with both of those pushed into place, that's that piece completed. We do now have to attach it, however, to this. So you can see there's these two posts in the middle here, and they correspond to these holes in this bracket. We want the filters, the red filters, pointing towards the wider end. So it's just going to sit over the top like so, and then screw in from underneath with 2 D screws. And just obviously be careful, you've got lots of plastic bits sticking out now, so I wouldn't rest it on the bench, I'd hold it in your hand. And that's the final result, the finished lower exhaust something, whatever it was called, and this oil pump and its filters in place. These little posts here I think are going to accept some hoses in the future. But again, we don't put this in the car as yet, so we just take these finished pieces and we're going to store them in our boxes. But these are obviously big chunks of the engine. I'm guessing this is probably going to go here somewhere at some point, one way around or another. But these are big chunks of the engine, and they're going to look pretty cool underneath that long hood. But that's everything for issue 8. So some really cool pieces. You can weather them if you want to. Obviously, this is an engine, so it's going to get a little bit dirty. I'm sure Batman keeps his engines nice and clean, but they'll always have some signs of weathering. So I'm not very good at weathering. I need to learn that. But when I've seen it done and seen it done well, it does look awesome. So I might have a go at learning some weathering skills. Maybe on some old scrap parts first, and then try it on here, because I think, especially if the hood does open and we get to see the engine, and I don't know yet if it does or not, but if it is going to be visible, then it'd be nice for it to look a little bit more realistic and take away some of that kind of shininess that you get on this plastic when it isn't weathered. You've got some fins here, and obviously on the oil pumps, things around here, they could look pretty cool with some weathering on them. But that's something I need to figure out the finer details of. So if you've got any tips, advice, pointers, whatever, throw them in the comments. Let me know if you're weathering yours or not, or whether or not you know if the hood is actually going to open, because if we never get to see the engine again, it might be a little bit pointless. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Click that like button, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And most important thing is, enjoy your build and have a great day. See you next time. Take care.